Okay, welcome back everyone. As I said in the previous video, I was going to do more books for younger children. The last one I did was for younger children. I forget that some of these books do have biblical teachings in them. Or, as far as I'm concerned, even if you took the biblical idealisms about just how to be a good person, okay? But I will put, markers on things where going forward I see them or I realize that they're going to pop up. However, in the meantime, this is a younger book, but not for babies. Definitely could still listen to it though. It's a great way to start envisioning in our minds what's happening if they're old enough to follow along. However, because I picked this up and I was like, oh yeah, I clearly remember my aunt and my grandmother reading this to me, I had that out-of-body moment where I was like, how old was I when this book was copywritten? It's not important. Not important. We're not going to talk about it. But it is still a good book. So, today we're going to do the Berenstain Bears in the Dark. And the ultimate part of this book is, are you afraid of the dark? And yes, even as an adult, I still don't like complete darkness. So there are a lot of nightlights in my house. But here we go. I'm telling you, it's that phone. I'm so sorry. Even if I turn it off, it still rings. I'm so sorry. Here we go. The Berenstain Bears in the Dark. Come on, fingers. Brother Bear, said Sister impatiently, are you going to take all day to pick your books? I'm guessing they're at the library. Yeah. Sister and Brother Bear were at the Bear County Library. Sister had already chosen her books and was waiting at the checkout desk. Hold your horses, said Brother. I'm looking for a good mystery. Oh, yeah, there are certain books even as an adult I don't read at bedtime anymore. No, thank you. Sister Bear usually took out storybooks and books about nature, and sometimes books of poems. Brother liked those too, but lately he'd become interested in mysteries, especially spooky ones. No thanks. Hey, this one looks good, he said. Finally. Okay, let's check out. Said Sister, looking at the cover. It was called The Case of the Crying Cave. It looks scary to me. I'm good. No. I'm a big fan of scary books right before that. Say, this is really good, said Brother later that evening when the Bear family had settled down for some reading. Would you like me to read it to you? He asked Sister. Sister was looking at the storybook about 3 kittens who were arguing about which one was the prettiest, and it was a little boring after all. Well, it's okay. Or are you scared? Teased Brother. Of course not, said Sister. She left her book on the floor and climbed onto the bench to sit beside him. The mystery began quietly. It told about some Bear Scouts who were on an overnight campout. Oh, that's fun. So it shows in the corner, it shows the little pieces of the book that he's reading. I can't actually read that. So we're just going to read what it says. When the Scouts discovered a dark, secret cave, Brother's mystery began to get a little exciting. And when the cave began to cry and wail, it was anything but quiet. Hoo! Cried the deep, dark, mysterious cave, read Brother with a lot of expression. Hoo! Oh, no. No, I don't know. Stop, said Sister, putting her fingers in her ears. That's enough, and she went back to her storybook. Scaredy bear, teased Brother. And that's quite enough of that, added Papa Bear, looking up from his paper. Oh no, he doesn't like that he's making his sister upset. Oh, come on. At the cubs' bedtime, Papa and Mama said goodnight, turned off the lights, and left the cubs in their usual sleepy darkness. Outside the treehouse, the bright, busy sounds of the day had given way to the soft, soothing sounds of night. The quiet conversation of frogs and toads, the soft cry of the owls, the sigh of the night wind. and if you listened very hard, you could almost hear the softest sound of all, the sound of lightning bugs switching their lights on and off, on and off. Ooh, that's kind of cool, actually. I'd like to live somewhere where it's quiet at night. You can't hear all the downtown noise pollution. But inside the treehouse, Sister Bear wasn't even beginning to fall asleep. That night, the dark didn't seem the least bit quiet and sleepy. In fact, it seemed like the spooky darkness of a scary cave. And the friendly old chest of drawers and funny clothes tree that Papa had made didn't seem so friendly. And funny, they seemed more like cave creatures. Oh, I would be scared too. Is this what? Yes, this is what she's talking about. She's talking about the coat rack and their dresser. And it looks like random things are hanging. And then there's the little things on top of her dresser. I know it's really dark. So when Brother decided to tease her a little more by making the wailing noise, a really spooky wailing noise, he gave her quite a scare. "Mama, Papa," she cried, "hurry, come quick." I'd cry too. I don't need anything in my room making me scared. And come quickly they did. Papa rushed into the dark room and tripped over the clothes tree. Mama rushed in after Papa and tripped over him. Oh my goodness. In the commotion, Sister fell out of bed and landed on both of them. Oh, I would have been scared. Then Brother, who had started it all with his spooky wails, turned on the light. What a mess. Sister, still scared, was holding on to Papa. Papa was holding to the toe he had stubbed, and Mama was looking for the nightcap she had lost in the confusion. All three of them were pretty annoyed with Brother Bear. I can understand that. It turned out to be a very scary long night in the bear tree house. Papa and Mama tried to explain that there was nothing to be afraid of in the dark, except maybe running into a clothes tree and stubbing your toe, but it didn't do any good. Sister absolutely refused to go to sleep with the lights off, and Brother positively insisted that he couldn't fall asleep with the lights on. He should have been nicer to his sister. This wouldn't have been a problem, right? The next morning, the Bear family was very sleepy-eyed. "Boy," said Brother, yawning, "I sure don't want to go through another night like that." "Neither do I," said Papa, "and I think I have an idea that might help." Let's see what Papa's got up his sleeves. He took Sister's hand. "Come with me," he said. "Where are we going?" she wanted to know. "Up to the attic." "The attic? But it's dark in the attic. Even in the daytime." "I know," said Papa, "but there's something I want to show you. Anyways, there's nothing so special about the dark. It's just part of nature. Like the light. It's your imagination that makes the dark seem spooky sometimes." "What's imagination?" asked Sister. They're going up the stairs. Imagination is what makes us think that chests of drawers and clothes trees are cave creatures. I wish I didn't have one," said Sister. "Don't say that," said Papa. "A lively imagination is one of the best things a cub can have. It's imagination that lets us paint pictures, make up poems, invent inventions. The trick is to take charge of your imagination and not let it take charge of you." So he grabs a lantern and he continues up to the attic. When they got to the attic, Papa began to rummage through boxes, looking for something. I wonder what he's looking for. Sorry, oh my God, excuse me. They're talking about sleep, and all of a sudden I'm sleepy. That's not necessary. Sister tried to follow Papa's advice and not let her imagination take charge. And it worked. A spooky shape turned out to be the shadow of some old tools. What looked like a giant was really some piled up furniture. Oh, it does. That's funny. "Here it is," said Papa. "My old nightlight, the one I used when I was a cub and had little trouble falling asleep in the dark. Sister couldn't quite believe that her big, powerful papa was ever afraid of the dark. "Oh, sure," said Papa. "Most of us are at one time or another." So he holds up his lamp. "How about reading the rest of The Case of the Crying Cave?" Sister asked Brother later that day. "Are you sure you want me to?" "Sure. I want to see how it turns out," she insisted. When it turned out that there was nothing very spooky about the terrible wailing sound, it was caused by the wind blowing across the opening in the roof of the cave, like the noise you make when you blow across the top of a bottle, Sister was a little disappointed. And that night, when she and Brother were all settled down in the cozy glow of Papa's old nightlight, she said so. "I was pretty disappointed by the way the case of the Crying Cave ended." Look at Brother. "Oh? Why?" asked Brother. "Because," she said, "I was hoping the wailing would be a really spooky, scary monster." And she leaned down from her bunk over Brother's and made a spooky, scary monster face at him. "Cut that out!" cried Brother. Now he's scared. Well, you know. Then Sister went right to sleep. But Brother lay awake for quite some time listening to the owls hoot and thinking that maybe he'd had enough mysteries for a while. But you know what? He's got a nightlight too, just like his sister, because they share the room. So what did you guys think of that? Let me know.